I am so tired today and I needed this one today. I have officially finished a legendary. I am loving Jade City so far. I don't know why I'm struggling so much to wake up at 6 a.m. to just get out of bed. So I guess the take-home message here is hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the first reading challenge on this channel of 2026. In this video, we are going to be waking up at 6 a.m. for a week minus 2 days. So for the weekdays, and see if waking up at 6 a.m. to read more is really worth it, and see how many pages and or books I get through in this reading challenge. As you can see, it is bright and sunny. I did not make an intro to this video, so here we are. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let's see how many pages and or books I can get through this week. Good morning. It is 6:23 and today is the start of my waking up at 6 a.m. for a week, or in this case 5 days, to see how much I can read. And we are starting a little bit late. I did wake up at 6 a.m. I was very tempted to snooze, but we're here, we're awake, and I put on some eye patches. I don't know if you can see on camera, but I put on some eye patches. They're from a bib. Let me go grab it actually. So this is the eye mask I am wearing right now. This is the Abib Collagen Eye Patch, Jericho Rose Jelly. I see this floating around on TikTok, and actually one of my close friends was the one that brought this up. I think I saw this on her story, and I think it's this one. There are two types of eye masks. So there's the collagen, and then I think there's a rose jelly one. Oh wait, this is rose jelly too. There's another one with a pink packaging, I think. So I'm not sure of the two which one my close friend has, but I also saw this one circling around TikTok, so I thought I'd try this up and pick it up. And so far, I don't really have much thoughts of it. I don't know if I see a difference, but the good thing about this is that it does stick to my face, so I can do whatever I want. But I don't know if it's a placebo effect. But the other one I've been wearing, which is the Grace and Stella yellow eye patch, I think that's the energizing one. I feel like after I take them off, I feel like my under eyes feel so good. But for this one, I don't feel a difference. But this is my, I guess, third time using it, so maybe I just need to be more consistent with it and then see if this is good. This is not a skincare channel, but I'm going to make some hot water before we start reading. For now, we are going to read on my Kobo. I am currently reading, actually, let's get the hot water started and let's talk about it. I am currently reading Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I am currently, oh my gosh, I am 87 pages to finishing this book. I am determined to finish this book today so that we can start on a new book together. So while we're having the hot water running, maybe I should talk about this book a little bit. So this is the second in the Caraval trilogy, and we are following Donatella. She is the sister to our main character in the first book, who is Scarlet, but now we are following Donatella, or Tella in this case. There is another Caraval games for Tella to play, so that's what we're following right now. One thing I do want to mention is that I am not really invested in Tella's love life or the love interest. I'm just not a fan of it at the moment. I do like the plot, but I think I like the first book a little bit better. But we get introduced to a character in the second book that I am growing to like, and this character is in Once Upon a Broken Heart. So I'm very excited to read that trilogy because the main character in that trilogy is finally showing up in this trilogy. So I can see why people mention to read Caraval first before reading Once Upon a Broken Heart. I'm very curious about this character, so I'm very excited to finish Caraval so that I can jump into Once Upon a Broken Heart. So my water is ready, and let's get to reading on the couch in a bit. For now, I'm going to continue reading from my Kobo to finish off the chapter that I'm currently in, and then I'll switch to my physical copy to finish off this book. So I'm very excited to finish this off and give you my, should I give you my thoughts here? I think I'm gonna go give my thoughts on this book in my January wrap-up video, so I won't talk much about it. After we finish this book, I'll give you my rating and then we will jump into the next book. We are on page 402 out of 443. We're so close. That's like, what, 41 pages? We're gonna finish this book today for sure. So there is one thing I do want to say about this book that I realized already twice or thrice. There are a few typos in this book. Instead of his dark eyes stayed fixed on her as if she were his prize, it's currently written here, he dark eyes stayed fixed on her as if she were his prize. That kind of throws me off of the story sometimes, and I'm like trying to correct it, and I mean, it doesn't really affect my rating to the book unless there's way too many typos in the book, but for now, it won't affect my rating in this book. It's just something very minor to me at the moment, but if there were multiple typos in the book, that would probably cause the rating to go lower. I have officially finished A Legendary by Stephanie Garber, and after pondering about it just for like 5 minutes, I think I'm going to give this a 3.75 stars. I will go into this in more detail in my January wrap-up. So that is Legendary. It is currently 8:15 a.m. and I want to start on the next book. So the next book I want to get into is Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is Freya's book club pick for the month, and so I'm excited about this. But I did not expect to be reading Fonda Lee so soon, because in my 2026 anticipated new releases, I wanted to read The Last Contract of Isako by Fonda Lee. So I thought that would be my first Fonda Lee book, but because this is the book club pick for Freya's book club, I'm going to read Jade City. So I'm very excited about this. So I'm going to go to my condo gym and hop on a treadmill to get in some steps before work. So it's 8:17. I start work at 9, so hopefully I can squeeze in 30 minutes of walking before I start work. Usually when I start a book, I like to read the physical copy, or now since I got a Kobo, I would like to read it as an ebook as opposed to an audiobook. But because I am going to the condo gym and I don't know if there's gonna be a lot of people there, I don't want to be carrying my Kobo and walking while reading on my Kobo. So instead, we're gonna hop onto an audiobook that I have borrowed from Libby, which is ready for me to listen to. So I'm going to start Jade City through an audiobook. We'll see how that goes. Especially with fantasy novels, I struggle really hard with listening to fantasy books via audiobook, especially when I'm starting it. I believe Jade City is an urban fantasy, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's not going to be too hard for me to understand while listening. But if so, I guess I'll just go back to the ebook and maybe slowly read it. So without further ado, I'm gonna go and get some steps and listen to Jade City via audiobook. I finished doing a part of my walks this morning and logged in for work. I wanted to hop in here to wrap up 2 days reading, how many pages I've read and listened to. So for Legendary, I was on page 400, and in total I have read 43 pages for Legendary. And for Jade City, I listened to 10 minutes of the audiobook. The amount of times I had to replay the certain section I was in, I just could not pick up what they were saying. And I 100% feel like I picked up their names incorrectly. So let me pull up the ebook to see what their names actually are. So what I heard was, I heard one of our main characters to be Beryl, like a crate barrel. That's what I think. And then there's another one which I am 100% confident that I got it completely off. And I heard Santa, like Santa Claus. Oh, Sampa. Oh, and barrow. Like, okay, so that makes more sense. I don't know if you can see the text there, but we are following barrow, B-E-R-O, not barrel, and Sampa, which is S-A-M-P-A instead of Santa, which I knew I was getting that wrong. It was hard to listen to at first because I couldn't figure out who our main characters were or what their names were. However, the setting was easy to follow, in my opinion. But I think I'm going to maybe speed read up until the 10-minute mark of my audiobook. And for Monday, 6 a.m. wake up, 43 pages plus a 10-minute listen on an audiobook, that's not too bad, in my opinion. And I also squeezed in a little breakfast moments in the morning. We will see how Tuesday goes. Good morning. It is Tuesday. It is day 2 of the challenge, and it is currently 6:27 a.m. Although I really like this eye mask, I feel like this one slips way too much. So I do prefer yesterday's eye mask over this one for that reason. But I love this mask because every time I take off this mask, I feel like my eyes are awakened. I am so tired today and I needed this one today. I'm making my hot water as usual. And today was a struggle to wake up. I had to snooze. Oh my gosh. I only snoozed for 5 minutes, so it's not that bad. That kind of worries me about the next few days ahead. I feel like waking up at 6 a.m. is not enough for me. Maybe I have to wake up at 5 a.m. so that I can read more. I feel like waking up at 6, I start reading at 6:30, and I think that's a little too late. Let's do a reading update. I am on chapter 2 of Jade City. Honestly, the first chapter hooked me right from the start. You're already in the middle of, I guess, their mission or heist that they're trying to do. I don't know if heist is the correct term for this, but you just see them in the middle of stealing a jade. So jade is the magical element in this world. I'm on chapter 2, so I have no idea what jade really does. It just seems like it enhances running and just your feeling of breathing or anything that's like ordinary. It just enhances it. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. We're going to keep reading a Jade City. Hopefully I can knock off a lot of pages here. So it's been a while since I came back from my walk. It is currently 9:01 a.m. I've already logged into work, went through my emails already, but I wanted to jump in once again to share my reading stats for today. I started on chapter 2, and that was at 4% read. And then now I am on in the middle, I guess, or let's see, literally in the middle of chapter 4 right now, and that's 8% read. So in total, I only read 4% today, but I'm not mad about it because I took my time to really understand the world and I actually annotated, which is crazy. So normally I don't annotate, I just read. I also love how I can highlight the words to see what the definition of a certain word is. I love how that helps me understand the story a bit more instead of guessing what it means and continuing on. When I'm reading a physical copy, I don't normally put down the book and search up what the word means. I find that it takes too long. So I'm really glad that this is so much more convenient where you can highlight the word and then the definition would pop up. So that's amazing. And it's just easy to annotate as well. It's kind of finicky at first, but maybe it's because I was walking and my hands were getting a little clammy. I am loving Jade City so far. I don't know if it's early to tell, but I think this is going to be one of my all-time favorite reads. I'm on chapter 4, 8% into reading this book, so I don't know if that's too early to tell, but I love the fact that in the beginning, when I think yesterday I mentioned that we follow 2 characters. I don't know if I said they were main characters or not, but it was Sampa and Barrow. And I thought they were our main characters. However, they were not. They were just
random not even side characters, there's just random characters for now. And we actually follow kind of like a gang clan. So we follow Call Hero and Call Lan, and they are brothers. Lan is the leader, and in this story they call them the pillar. And we also follow Hero, who is his right hand man, and they are called, I forgot what they were called. I highlighted the stuff that I found were important. So, Hero is Lan's right-hand man, and he is part of the military, and they are part of the Green Bone, which I am still trying to understand the history about it, but so far, I believe these are going to be our main characters. I love stories where in the beginning, we don't jump right into the main characters, but leading up to the main characters, which is such a nice, refreshing way to set up the story. It kind of feels like I am watching a movie while reading this. So, absolutely enjoying this book, and I really want to read more, but I have to go back to work. That is my reading stats for today, and I will see you on Wednesday.
Good morning, happy Wednesday. It is currently 7:01 a.m. I made a little yogurt bowl here, and I am going to make my caffeinated drink after I have my yogurt bowl. I usually don't have a caffeinated drink on an empty stomach, so that's what we're going to have. I wanted to hop in to chat about how this challenge has been going for me. Today I woke up at 6 a.m. and again I snoozed for another 5 minutes. I don't know why I'm struggling so much to wake up at 6 a.m. to just get out of bed. I get enough sleep. I have at least 7 hours of sleep, and yesterday I think I had literally 7.5 hours of sleep, and I don't know why I still can't wake up. So I snoozed for 5 minutes, and what's even worse is that I picked up my phone for an extra 5 minutes in bed, or maybe 5 to 10 minutes in bed. Compared to Monday and Tuesday, I had my Kobo near me. Whenever I reach for my phone in the morning, I have my Kobo near me. So every time I touch my phone, I can feel my Kobo, and that entices me to get out of bed and start reading. But today, when I reached for my phone, my Kobo wasn't near me. I think yesterday I forgot to put it near me. I left it on my desk, so I think I was just so tired. I just forgot about it. I forgot to put it near me, and I reached for my phone and started scrolling. But luckily I didn't scroll for too long. Usually I scroll for an hour, but luckily this time it's like 5 to 10 minutes. So by the time I looked at the time, I jumped out of bed because I needed to get reading. On Monday, I woke up at 6 a.m. and that was pretty easy to wake up. I was excited for this challenge, but we're on Wednesday and I'm starting to dread it a little bit. I just want to sleep in. I also feel like waking up at 6 a.m. is not enough time. It's currently 7 a.m. and I like to get my walks in as well. I do bring my Kobo with me and walk while I read, but I just want to relax on the sofa and read. Maybe the next time I do this challenge, I'll wake up at 5 a.m. because clearly it takes me 30 minutes to actually start reading. For some reason, it takes me forever to actually start reading. Let's do a very quick reading update. I am on chapter 5 now, and I am loving Jade City. Yesterday during work, I tried to squeeze in a page or two, but it's never really a downtime moment during work, so couldn't really pick up the book and read. Every time I put down this book, I'm itching to pick it up to see what happens next. I also like the writing style. So we get to know a little bit more of our characters through dialogue between the characters, and it's not an awkward conversation either. It's very natural, and you kind of get revealed some of the history behind these characters. And I really like that because it really makes you feel like you're watching a movie. So everything is unfolding pretty naturally so far, and I really enjoy that. So far, I'm loving this, and I'm going to eat my yogurt bowl while reading and probably make my caffeinated drink. And then we're gonna get to walking. So let's get back to reading. Happy Thursday. It is 7 a.m. and I actually wanted to hop in to talk about yesterday's stats. Yesterday, I stopped at the 13% mark, so I read a total of 5% yesterday. And the more I think about it, the more I feel like I need to wake up earlier. I think I need to wake up at 5 a.m. to read more because 5% is not enough, in my opinion. I don't know if it's because at 6 a.m. it takes me 30 minutes to actually get out of bed and brush my teeth and everything. And then when I actually start reading, it's like 6:30. I also make my hot water. After today, I feel like I do need to wake up at 5 a.m. to do this challenge. So not anytime soon because I am so tired. But I think I'm gonna do a wake up at 5 a.m. instead, maybe later in 2026. So far, I feel like I am reading, so that's good, but I guess not as much as I would hoped for. So that was my reading update from yesterday, and today, as you can see, I woke up and immediately picked up my Kobo to read. However, I was so tired while reading, I was dozing off. So I took a 10-minute power nap and I am almost done chapter 7. So not bad. So now they're still setting up the story, and I think we'll get into the meat of the story a little bit later. But so far, I am really enjoying this book. I'm gonna continue reading and I will hop back on if I have any updates. I am back from the gym and I wanted to hop in to share with you all my reading update. So I am on page 94 of 486 and I am 19% into the book. Again, I have read another 5%. This seems like a trend, but the thing is that I am really trying to understand the world and annotating, writing notes so that I can kind of refer to it if I forget something instead of kind of pushing through. So I am taking my time with reading this book. I have a better understanding of what we are into now. So a quick little, I guess, background of the story so far that I'm in. So we have met 4 characters. The first one is Lan, and he is the pillar, aka the leader of the No Peak clan. In the city of Janloon, this is also called the Jade City. So this city holds the magical element of Jade, and there are 2 clans and they are rival clans. The first being the No Peak is what I see so far that we are following, and its rival clan, the Mountain Clan. So back to our 4 main characters. Lan is the pillar or leader of the No Peak clan, and his right-hand man, Hilo, and that's his brother. He's the leader of the military of the No Peak clan. And we also get introduced to their sister, Jade, and she came back from Espion. I guess it's another island off of Janloon. And I don't think they're in good terms as well. The citizens of Janloon versus the citizens of Espion. So she comes back from Espion and doesn't really want to be part of the clan, and she's trying to pretty much make a life of her own outside of the clan. And our last character is Andin. I don't remember his last name, but his family is kind of divided between the 2 clans. So his mother went to the school under the Mountain Clan, and his father or uncle, one of those 2, his uncle went to the academy under the No Peak clan. That's why Andin, who is the cousin of the Cole family, so he's half Kekanese and half Espion. He is currently under the wing of the Cole family, but it seems that the Mountain clan also wants him as well. So that's where we are currently at in the book. So far, I am loving this book. It's so good. And every time I put it down, I just can't stop thinking about it. So I need to continue reading. That is the reading update for Thursday. And tomorrow will be the last day of my waking up at 6 a.m. to see if I can read more. And yeah, I will see you on Friday, which is our last day. Good morning, happy Friday. I just realized this is the first time I'm hopping in to chat to you all. I wanted to hop in to give a reading update and also wrap up this video. So let's start with the reading update. I read a lot in the evening yesterday, so that was really great. So we started at 25% and we are at 29%. That is not too bad. It is below my 5% that I read every morning, but that's okay. I read quite a lot in the evening yesterday, so that kind of makes up for it a bit. Let's talk about this challenge now. Today I woke up at 6 a.m. and reached for my Kobo almost immediately, and surprisingly, I did not fall asleep again or took a little nap or anything of that sort. Actually, surprisingly, went to bed really late last night because I was editing another video, and that is tier ranking all the books I have read in 2025. That should have been out by now. Surprisingly, I was still able to wake up at 6 a.m. and for some reason, I did not feel like I struggled at all waking up at 6 a.m. today, which is great. And I also did something different this morning. I went to the gym at 7 a.m. Usually I go at around 7:30, 8:15 the latest, and had a nice slow morning breakfast, which was so yummy. Would I wake up at 6 a.m. to do this challenge again? I think 6 a.m. is not enough. I need to wake up at 5 a.m. I feel like because I am incorporating walks and I do like to have my breakfast before work, I feel like I'm struggling to read. So if I'm not picking up my Kobo, I try to listen through an audiobook, but I realize that through the audio, I feel like I don't really understand as much. So either if I do listen to the audio, it's at 1.25 speed and my Kobo's nearby so that I can either highlight or read alongside listening. That's only for Jade City because this is a urban fantasy, I believe. I do find that reading fantasy, especially if it's not a romantasy, it's hard for me to listen for some reason. I feel like I don't really understand it as much. I feel like this one is more in the fantasy element than it is a romantasy. So I don't even think it's a romantasy. It's just an urban fantasy, I believe. I love Jade City so far, so I'm very tempted to continue in the series, but we'll see how it goes after reading this. So you're probably going to hear my thoughts on this book in my January wrap-up. For waking up at 6 a.m., in the middle, I feel like I was struggling the most waking up, but after that, knowing that this is going to be the last day, I think it was doable. So I guess the take-home message here is I need to wake up at 5 a.m. to read. So we'll see how that goes. I don't think I'm going to be doing this anytime soon, but we'll see how it goes. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!